Hey everybody, it's Kneecap here, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about some pretty big news for Paladins potentially getting a battle res in Dragonflight, the next expansion for World of Warcraft. And this is really huge if this ends up going through. If you haven't heard this yet or don't know about it, here's a clip from the interview. Ian Hazzikostas talking to Max from Liquid on his stream. So go ahead and play the clip.
So a little scoop for you. I think you'll probably see this in the next beta build, or next alpha build rather. Evokers will bring Bloodlust, so we'll have a fourth Lust class in the mix. We're also looking at adding Battle Res to one more class, possibly Paladins, likely Paladins, but don't like 100% quote me on that.
Okay.
Yep.
And yeah, this is just really, really big news. It's really cool. And yeah, I'm super excited for it and hope that this makes it to live. Hope that not only does this make it to alpha, but it makes it to like literally Dragonflight launch. This is, it's not exactly what Paladins want. It's not exactly what Paladins need, but it's something, and it's powerful, and it's useful, and it's utility, which I think is really good, especially when you're talking like a Rat Paladin, which is what we talk about a lot here on this channel, is Rat Paladins needing something. Rat Paladins being able to bring a battle res, that puts us on par with like DKs. We still don't have grip, of course. We still don't have AMZ, but it brings us slightly closer to some of these other specs that have something useful to bring. Because it's like, well, at least they can battle res. They can't do anything else, but at least they can battle res, which is something. It's better than nothing. And so I think we should really be latching onto this as Paladins, even if it's not like the preferred thing you want. You'd rather have this other cool raid cooldown, whatever, something to counter with like Rallying Cry or like an AMZ or whatever, something useful in that way. And I totally hear you on that, but we're not being offered that, right? Paladins are not being offered an either or situation here. We just are hearing about this. We potentially will have battle res. And it's not like we're going to have battle res or something really cool. It's just we might have battle res. If they do pose that question and we want to go with the other cool raid cooldown, I'm completely okay with that. But I do think that battle res does make sense thematically. So if you think about the battle reses, we have like Soulstone, like Fel Energy. We have, obviously it'd be like Demonic Energy, but kind of Warlocks use Fel Energy. We have, DKs with Undeath, which we learned a lot about Undeath and Shadowlands. We have Druids with Nature. And then we don't have anything holy that's resing, which would put us between Paladin and Priest. I think the difference here is that Priest has Mass Dispel and Fortitude, so a raid buff. And I think that Paladin doesn't have that. And I think that's what kind of would sway it towards Paladin instead of Priest, right? Is that they already have some stuff, the other one doesn't have stuff. I didn't mention Aura Mastery for Paladin because it's Holy Paladin, and this Priest has Barrier. So, you can kind of just, count those as even or whatever. You can argue that the Paladin one's better if you want, but you can kind of count those as even, and, in reality, it's just Priest has more stuff then. And so giving the battle res to the Paladin then, if you're going to do Holy battle res, giving it to the Paladin just kind of makes sense. So I think thematically it makes sense. I know that matters a lot to the team at Blizzard, it making sense. So if it makes sense thematically, it's helping a class that needs some sort of extra utility. I think that just is a great thing overall. Yes, I would love like a raid cooldown to use 100%. I think that would be really, really neat and, more powerful than just a battle res as well. But until we're offered that in any way, until that's hinted at, I think you have to just take what you have. And I'll kind of give an example of this, and I don't think it's the community's fault, so please don't twist my words into that. But Long Arm of the Law was on the Ret Paladin talent tree. Now, it was a very nerfed, gimped version of Long Arm of the Law, but we were at least getting something that gave us a little bit more speed. And a lot of Paladins scoffed at it. And then when they removed it, a lot of Paladins, Ret Paladins didn't get that mad about it. I was very mad about it. But because it was like this scuffed version of it, they're like, well, whatever. I only want the perfect version. And because of that, now we have nothing, right? And so if we say we don't want battle res, we want this really powerful raid cooldown, you know, we might end up getting nothing instead. And I don't think that's a wise thing to do when you're at a, you know, non-strong position of bargaining is to walk away with nothing. When you walk away with nothing, you typically want to already have, you want to be at a strong position. You walk away with nothing because you have other stuff to fall back on or whatever. As Paladins, we don't have much to fall back on, so I think that's why we should really embrace the idea for battle res and really want this idea for battle res. This is an extremely exciting time, frankly, to be a paladin. And you know, I'm sorry for your spec or your class or whatever if you aren't a paladin, but if you are, I think you should be excited about this. Yeah, it'll probably cost holy power. It'll probably be inconvenient in some way to use it. Just like a lot of the specs, it is inconvenient to use, like in the middle of a raid pull or something like that. But we should just embrace it, be able to have it. I know myself, if this goes live, I will have some sort of /yell macro with like justice demands retribution / yelling as I res my ally to go and slay the foe that fell them, and you know, get really into it and just embrace it fully is what I will do, because I think it just it brings this usefulness to it so many times. In a dungeon or a raid or whatever, you might do really good damage. Maybe you're like top damage or top 5 damage and you feel good about that. But other than that, you didn't really bring much to the team. You didn't have the clutch rallying cry. You didn't have the clutch AMZ. You didn't have the clutch grip. You didn't have the clutch whatever, master spell that saved everybody. You know, you didn't have that. And so at least being able to have a battle res, again, it's not the most powerful thing. Like most of the time you're like, oh, what an amazing battle res. But at least it's something. It's something to start off on, right? And if we get a raid cooldown later on, or we get this really cool utility later on, we should embrace that as well. If they take away the battle res to give us that, then perhaps that's fine as well, right? But I think right now we should take this. We should be happy about this. I know I'm happy about it. And it's not even live yet. And I'll just hope that it does go live though. But I mostly just wanted to kind of present this news to people who may not have heard about it. You know, it is a stream, and not every you know, ounce of World of Warcraft people, you know, watch streams and stuff like that. It is on YouTube now, on Max's YouTube, if you want to watch the entire interview with Ian there. There's a lot of interesting points for it, but or in the interview. But yeah, super excited about this. I hope it goes live, and yeah. Obviously, I want more. Who doesn't want more? But I'm happy with this if this happens. So that's it for this one, guys. As always, I do ask you to please subscribe to the channel. Helps me out so much. And other than that, everybody, have a good one.